Hey everyone, today I'm here doing a vlog, and this is in response to the recent blog post that I did where I put it out there. I was asking if you had any questions, and if you do, I'll answer them to the best of my ability. So here I am answering your questions, or at least trying to. Thank you to those of you that did ask. I really appreciate the time you took to ask questions. A lot of them were hard questions, both for you to ask and both for me to answer, so I'm going to do my best here. To those of you who are watching who might not know me, I'm Rebecca, and I would suggest that you check out my blog. I'll put a link below so that you have a bit of an idea of what I'm talking about with this whole vlog. Well, not really surprisingly, but most of the questions that you all have asked me are in regards to the Body After Babies post that I did and the Why I Hesitate to Have Another Baby post that I did. So I'm going to go into that a little bit, and I'm also going to give you just a really brief history or summary of what I'm talking about. I'm not currently, but I have struggled with anorexia. And it consumed me for many years, and it completely controlled my life in every way. I never harmed my body in any way other than starving it and over-exercising my body, but I definitely had a very hardcore struggle with anorexia, and that was a while ago. I haven't struggled with that. I really would say it's been since I got married. I just somehow felt free. And then also I do want to say my body right now, which I shared on my blog, but my body is still at the weight that it was when I was pregnant with my second child, Kanan. I weigh what I weighed when I was pregnant. So I'm not going to tell you the number because we don't need to have comparison, but, nobody, that's not a toy, okay? But, yeah, it's a little bit outside of my comfort zone, my body is right now, so what I'm sharing to you is genuine and sincere because my body is definitely not one that I'm accustomed to. Which is okay. I'm not shaming myself at all. I'm just saying. Okay, so if you or anyone you know or have loved has struggled with any kind of eating disorder, you know what I mean when I say that it's a cycle of abuse. For me, like I said, that cycle was I would starve myself and see how long I could go without eating, and then whenever I did eat, I would exercise like obsessively, and that was just my cycle. So when I use the term abuse, that's my brief definition of how I abused my body. And the thing too I want to say is right now I am a strong believer in exercise. I was a personal trainer. I have a lot of knowledge in that area. I exercise the best I can. In fact, I have been running every day, guys, by the way. So, yeah, that's a big deal. And obviously eating healthy, but you know what? If I have a week where all I do is I have pizza on Friday night, and then Saturday, we go to Mexican, and Sunday, it's like football day, and Monday, I'm like, okay, Monday, I'm gonna do it different, and I still eat my, bag of chips. I don't get upset at myself for that anymore, which to me is a true sign of freedom. And I don't take that for granted for one second because it's a miracle. It is truly a miracle. And so on that same note, I had someone ask, how do I overcome the urge to self-abuse? And thank you, sweetie. I think the term urge to self-abuse is a good one. I have my story of anorexia was progressive. I had about a year where I was completely consumed with it. And then I became more and more free from it, but yet the mindset would still creep up like in a flash. I mean, you guys, if you know what I'm talking about, you know, like, you have those naughty foods and you have like that kind of funny thing. That's okay, sweetie. Can I have that? Thank you. Okay. So it took me a while to even be okay with, sorry, Eliza needs a little clippy in her hair, huh? It took me a while to allow myself to eat foods that I'd previously categorized as naughty, and not feel bad about eating those foods, and not feel the need to then go over-exercise because I did eat whatever food I thought I wasn't supposed to eat. Currently, I'm really sorry about the noise, guys. I thought I had my day planned differently, but anyway, if I ever have an urge to abuse myself, it would be, to the extent I would take it, is mentally. It would only remain a mental thing, which is still just as detrimental as physically abusing myself. So if I abuse myself mentally, I really strongly believe that's just as detrimental as if I were to go and abuse my body physically. So to avoid any of that sort of abuse, from the get-go, when I began my walk of freedom from an eating disorder, and it was very outside of my comfort zone, but I would write on index cards and put it on every mirror in my house, in my bedroom, in my bathroom, on the kitchen, on the refrigerator, on everywhere. I would put little, if you know, I'm not saying you share my same spiritual beliefs, but if you do, I would look up scripture and I would write what is true about my body, and I would put that everywhere, and then I would speak it over myself even if I didn't believe it. Like, if at the time nothing in me felt that way, believed that was true, period, I would have that visual reminder, and that would instigate a progressive step in the right direction again. And then also, let's say you have a friend and she is saying something badly about her image. Immediately you would be like, girl, no, you are beautiful, stop it, what are you thinking, you're so gorgeous. And it's the same kind of thing, like, we are our own worst critics. And so I think, in a sense, and I don't mean to sound weird, I know it might sound weird, but to just say to myself that same thing that I would say to my girlfriend is, stop it, you're gorgeous, like, let it go, it's okay, like, okay, maybe my jeans are a size bigger than they were last time, that doesn't mean I need to go on a crazy diet and go on a crazy workout regimen, whatever. But ultimately, one practice that I did do as well, in addition to doing the index cards on all over my house, was to, I had actually my brother-in-law at the time, well, he's still my brother-in-law, but at the time that I was struggling, he gave me a really good analogy, and you know, you have thoughts darting through your mind constantly, all the time. If you're a woman, your mind is going all the time. So it's really, really important to know the importance of taking captive every thought, even if you are not a Christian and you don't agree with me spiritually. It remains important to take captive your thoughts, because your thoughts are what then resonate in your heart, and then what is in your heart is what you speak. So it's all interconnected, and it's really important to do it initially when that thought enters your mind. Oh my gosh, if you feel ugly or fat or whatever it might be, whenever that thought comes, literally take a mental shotgun and shoot that thought, and then if it comes again, shoot it again, and shoot it again, and shoot it again, because that thought has no place in your mind, because the truth is, and I will say it to you, The truth is, you are loved. You are cherished. You are worthy. You are beautiful. You are worthy of being displayed before... What's his drink? You are worthy of praise. You are worthy of admiration in the most humble way and in the most pure way. But it's also so very important to practice thinking about what is true, what is right, what is honorable, what is praiseworthy, all of those things. Even if you're not a Christian and you don't agree with me on other spiritual topics, that's fine. But I'm just saying in general, a healthy practice is to train your mind to think about what's true and to think about what's right and to just take a step back and say, okay, I'm struggling with this right now. I'm going to either shoot that thought down or I'm going to speak words that I don't feel right now, but I'm going to speak them anyway and believe that at some point it'll become what I do believe. So I hope that answers that question of how I overcome the urge to self-abuse. And I guess that goes along the lines of the next question. How do you push the negative thoughts aside about body image and pull yourself out of the rut? Because, I don't struggle with anorexia anymore, but I do struggle with my body image since having my second baby. Because it was during that pregnancy where I got my first stretch marks, and because I was on bed rest, I gained a lot of weight much more quickly than I did in my first pregnancy. So, and then too, I've shared that I had to go on antidepressants, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. I want to touch on that more. If I don't get the time to do it in this video, I will do another video because that's really, really something I want to go into. But when I do have those negative thoughts about my body, because I do have them every day, especially when I'm about to get in the shower and I see those stretch marks and I see that cellulite and I see that flab that if I push my belly out, I look like I'm 25 weeks pregnant. You know what I'm talking about. I either have to just kind of shove it away. I don't like shoving things down because eventually it'll explode, but I have to just shove it out of my mind, or I have to do what I'm doing, finish what I'm doing, and then when I have the time to approach the struggle that I was having, I usually take a deep breath, and one of the biggest things for me is my husband, and I know the person who asked that particular question is not married, so it's hard to give you that advice, but if you are married, your husband is such a key component in your walk of freedom, because I know for a fact that my amazing husband loves me no matter what. And I asked him that even before I got pregnant. I'm like, what if I get pregnant and I gain a lot of weight? Will you still love me? Yes. The answer is yes. And I believe I can say that for those of you who are not married, the answer is yes. Because when I was struggling with anorexia, hardcore, I would think, well, I have to stay skinny or else no man is ever going to want me, and I have to stay skinny because that's what beauty is. And that's a lie. Beauty does not equal skinny. But when I'm struggling, I hear Brandon's voice in my head, and I hear him say, you are loved. I see no flaw within you. And I can say that to those of you who are single or, who don't have that husband to speak that to you. I will speak that to you. I want to be that person if you're willing to let me be, because I believe it. I might not even have met you, but I believe it. It's something so, so strongly on my heart. Every woman, no matter shape or size, is so beautiful and worthy of knowing that. And that's something I'm very passionate about. I will take more time to talk to you. If that's something you want, let me know. But I think it's just, as far as pushing aside those thoughts and resisting the urge to give in, it's a matter of practice. And sometimes I say practice makes perfect, but ultimately we're not looking for perfect. We're looking for healthy. We're looking for freedom. And so practice makes freedom. And that's what it's about. Life is all about living free. And once you find that freedom, this struggle will be so worth it. Because if you're in this cycle of abuse right now, I encourage you, do not give up, because it's going to be worth it. When you find that level of freedom, you are going to just be like, wow. And you know what? Another thing too is that I believe God causes everything to work together for good. That's scriptural. So everything that happens in my life, good, bad, ugly, He is somehow going to cause it to come together and work for good. So if you do have a day where you do beat yourself up and you do struggle, He's going to use that in a good way. And I will proclaim that over you if you don't have it in you to do it yourself. Another question that is really important and goes along with what I've been talking about is, how do you not let depression and eating disorders control your life? And I think I've already touched enough on how I do not let the eating disorder control my life. But as far as how do I not let depression control my life, it's a process, and that has been probably more recently more of a grueling process than letting an eating disorder control me, because I truly believe that I'm walking in freedom from an eating disorder. But I have to daily walk, and sometimes it doesn't, sometimes my days are not free from depression, but it's a daily walk in freedom. And it's a daily, it's more than a daily, it's like a second by second, minute by minute, hour by hour walk in the right direction, walk towards freedom from depression. And I think there's different forms of depression, as I said. And you know, for me, I have it, and I can't ever predict it. So I have my days where, like, you know, I wake up and I'm like, yeah, let's do this day. You know, I got it going on. But that doesn't happen naturally to me most days. Most days I wake up and think, literally, like, my fleshly first thought is, oh God, I have to do yesterday all over again today. Oh great, where's the coffee and then where's the wine? No, but I kid. It doesn't come easy, and that's the thing. It's not supposed to necessarily. I think it's something that you, or I at least, have been in this season of my life that I am in, where I've taken the leap, and I've started antidepressant medicine and anti-anxiety medicine. It's a humbling thing. And so the first thing in the morning, I start it in humility, and my first thought is, I do not have it in and of myself to be the best mom and the best wife I can be. And that's not because I haven't taken my medicine yet. It's first of all because I haven't filled myself with God yet for the day. I haven't eaten of His Spirit yet. And then second of all, the depression medicine really, really does help. And I, again, don't want to push that on you. I know there's so many out there who are very pro holistic healing and natural medicines, and that's great. I tried that. I really did. So this is what's working for me. I don't want there to be judgment, but I'm being honest with it because I know that there might be some who have avoided it and you really could benefit from it. So I have days where I wouldn't necessarily say that I am depressed, but I have days where I have moments of anxiety. And it started, it's been like a year, I would say, where I've been on the medicine. And when I first began, I was only struggling with depression. I had never had an anxiety attack in my life. Like, sure, I'd been nervous about plenty of things. I mean, doing backflips on the balance beam kind of instigates nerves, or doing, you know, I've had nervous situations. But I've never had an actual, like, anxiety attack until I started taking medicine. And that's both ironic but mostly frustrating, because it's like, why? Here I am on this medicine that is supposed to be helping my depression, and it's actually making my anxiety worse. And I don't know. So that's why before I said I had to try many different medicines to arrive at the one that works best for me. So if you have to do that for yourself, know that you're not alone and there's nothing wrong with you, but it is important to do whatever you have to do to get on that right dosage or medicine or whatever, so that you're feeling as much of you as you possibly can. Because I don't want to feel anything but me. Like, I don't want to feel medicated. I don't want to feel like a substance is influencing me. I want to feel myself, and I want to feel alive, and I want to feel present, and I want to be, as the book 1000 Gifts talks about, I just want to feel that holy moment. And it's been really hard, and a lot of my good close girlfriends know, like, I have anxiety attacks, and they are not induced by anything I could tell you. They just come out of the blue. I'll literally be totally fine, and then out of the blue I'm like, oh my, like I not even mentally, but like physically I feel like I'm going to have an anxiety attack. I'm sharing that because it's not a daily thing that I'm just like, yeah, I take my medicine and I'm good. Like, I take my medicine every day, but I still have a struggle with anxiety now, and that's okay. We're working on that too. But that doesn't make me any less of the loved and cherished and praiseworthy and admirable person that I've been declared to be, nor does it make you any less than what you've been declared to be. So I think there's a balance. There's a balance of recognizing, okay, I'm struggling right now. I'm having a very hard time with X, Y, or Z, but I'm gonna, to my best ability, try to remind myself of what's true, and if that's not what is working, I'm going to either turn to a friend or turn to some sort of mentor or counselor or pastor who can help you back in that right direction. And I tread on this subject lightly because I know not everyone agrees with medicine, not everyone is in agreement with spirituality, not everyone agrees with, there's not going to be a complete agreement on this topic. So I share that lightly. But I also share that boldly because I want those who are struggling to know you're not alone. And so I am free from anorexia. I do still struggle with my body image. I've shared how I overcome that daily, but it's not a complete like, oh, I'm free. Like, there's honestly, I think as long as we're alive on this earth, there's never going to be that moment where you're just like, I am so free from everything. There's no problem. Nothing can come against me unless you're living in complete denial. And I'm not in denial. So I will tell you, I'm not bound by depression. I am not bound by anorexia. But I do have to intentionally take steps each day to stay above it. And the steps look different each day. Sometimes those little index cards on the mirror don't cut it. I have to like dive either deeper within myself, or I have to listen to an encouraging like message online, or read an encouraging book, or whatever. It's different each time. And as far as depression goes, I'm still figuring that out. The medicine, we've got that figured out, but like my body's response to it, it's a day-by-day thing, and that's okay. It's a little uncomfortable, but it's okay. You know, I strive, not in an unhealthy way, but I do strive on my blog to be as positive, uplifting, and encouraging as I possibly can be, because we need more positivity. We need more positivity in the world. We need less negativity. We need less sarcasm. We need less shallow humor. And we need more honest talk. We need more vulnerable talk that gives room for other people to feel welcome and open. And that's why what I share on my blog, I tend to keep it focused more in a positive direction, and I am so passionate for others. I'm passionate for myself, yes, but I'm also passionate for you and everyone to know what it is like and to know what it looks like to experience a life that is free. And freedom is a daily walk. So that's my best answer to that. On to a whole brand new topic, which is kind of surprising that I was asked this. But a question was, what skincare routine and products do I use? And you guys. So I really don't have the best skin. Sorry, today is so crazy, guys. This is one of those days. It's like, it is what it is. Anyways, I have never really felt confident about myself unless I have makeup on, which is another thing that my husband has been so beneficial in helping me feel beautiful even without any ounce of makeup. I don't have a routine with my skincare, except for I do wash it every evening with a washcloth, and that probably stems from when I was in gymnastics and I would come home from the gym after training for 3 hours and be disgusting, gross, ew, yuck, and like just either wash my face. Most of the time I couldn't stand the thought of getting into bed without getting a shower, so it's kind of a habit, but I wash my face at least in the morning, and every morning I put on a moisturizer, and that is something I want to talk about. I have a friend who works with a company, and it's called Nerium, and I have been using this product for like maybe a month, and I love it, but this is what my routine is currently. So I normally wear makeup during the day. In the evening, I wash my face with my washcloth, and then I put on the Nerium Age Defying Treatment Night Cream, and it's a cute little bottle. I put about 4 pumps into my hand, rub it all over my face, and it feels like you're putting on a face mask. Like that's how it feels on your skin, but if you touch it, like it's completely dry and kind of cool, so like you can sleep on it. You don't wash it off until the next morning. And what that treatment does is it helps reduce redness, it helps reduce the size of your pores, it helps create a more clear skin tone, and I advocate, I believe in this product. I will speak very highly of it. If you're interested in hearing more, my friend can definitely hook you up. These are what the bottles look like, and this bottle is just basically a moisturizer. I put it on avidly every morning. Whenever I put makeup on, I always put moisturizer on, and you should too. And this is basically just a moisturizer. So I use it every morning, and it moisturizes my face in such a fresh way. And then in the evening, I put on the night cream, which is more like, it makes you feel like you're wearing a mask. And I haven't tried it yet, but I've been told the night cream, whatever it has in it, whatever products are in it, also help with stretch marks. So I will be trying that on my stretch marks as well. But that's my skincare routine. Nothing really that fancy, except I do highly recommend those products, and if you want further information, let me know and I will hook you up. And then another question, how do you find the time to get ready each day with 2 little ones? Eliza loves watching me do my makeup, and she's so interactive. Like, she can tell, like, I'll be like, okay, where's mommy's mascara? And she'll like pull out my mascara. But I like to let her be involved, so I get all my stuff out on the table, and she's interactive, and she says, what's this? And I tell her, and what's this? Well, that's another brush. What's this? Well, that's another brush. What's this? Another brush. But she's part of it, and I like that. I want her to feel part of it and not think that I'm just focusing on myself and excluding her. And you know, while I do that, I also make an attempt to tell her over and over, Liza, you're so beautiful. You are just so beautiful. And mommy doesn't wear makeup to be beautiful. Mommy just wears makeup because I like doing makeup and I like wearing makeup. So I'm trying to instill a healthy mindset in her at a young age without overwhelming her with it. So I involve her when I can with my makeup. So yeah, that's all I've got for you guys right now. But yeah, keep your questions coming. Even if I don't have like an open Q&A, just keep the questions coming and keep interacting and keep knowing that you are loved and beautiful and you are so, so, so cherished. And I cannot wait to see you again. Well, I actually hope I could see you guys. That would be pretty cool. We should do like a Skype or Google chat thing. But until then, you'll see me again soon, and I hope I can see you soon too.